Okay, it's September 15th, I believe. I'm taking off soon for Apimondia. The weather's been on the coolish side. I guess we had a couple mornings ago -7, I think. But pretty much negative every morning. Right now it's about 14 degrees Celsius. They're not really taking syrup much. I did put an open feeder, an old chicken water down by the garden over there. So they're collecting off of that. So I'm going to leave that going. But I'm going to remove the top feeders, drain it into I guess, a 5-gallon bucket there, and I'll probably make my own fondant with the leftover or just warm it up, get rid of any substances. So what I've got here are my feeder trays. So each colony gets one of these. So I put about I don't know, 3-4 pounds of fondant in there. You can see there's still a pollen patty underneath. So I still want them to brood. And then basically cut them off. So it should be okay. Hopefully they consume that, brood for another couple of weeks, and then shut down. And by that time, I guess there will be snow on the ground, but hopefully they're warm enough to just polish off those brood nests. So like I said, I'll take the top feeders off, drain it, and then I've got shims go on top of the top bars. I put an empty super deep, and then I'll put one of these. Then I've got a bubble foil wrap that goes above that, piece of plywood, and then I've got some extra styrofoam insulation. And for now I'll put 2 in the weaker ones, and then 1 in the I guess the less weak one. I just discovered that I do have my CO2 and my O2 sensor ready, but my O2 sensor is a electrochemical type sensor, so there's a chemical in it, and I tried calibrating it, so it no longer has that active agent, so it's useless. So before I put that in, I'm going to take that out, the data logger and the sensor out. I am tinkering with another CO2 sensor that goes down to 40,000. So what I'll do for now, I'll just put the single CO2 sensor in there. And then if I do get it done before it gets too cold, I'll put a higher level CO2 sensor in there. And if not, I guess it is what it is. Ordering those sensors will take too long, so I'll just try to do what I can do with what I have. So anyways, let's get going. At least this colony here is building in wax, so it tells me they're expanding. Like I said, these are small clusters. I've really shrunk them significantly. Can't shrink them too much more, so this one is down to 5 frames. So I have 2 5-framers, and I guess it is what it is. So let's put our shims and put the thing on top. Okay, so the deep box with extra insulation is in now. The reason this one's not taped up yet is I still have sensors to put in this one. I've got 8 sensors to put. Hopefully I'll put it in the next couple of days. But you can see how I've taped the seams, taped the middle seam in that box, so when I do pop the insulation out, it keeps it nice and tidy. what I'm doing, there's about 3/4 inch to an inch in between the boxes here. So I do tape that. And then here I folded some bubble foil wrap, just a couple inches, fold it over to sort of plug most of that. I do leave a couple of little entrances, not entrances, but gaps, because you will get moist air coming up. So I do want it to get out instead of just getting stuck in there. And then same here. So seam down. So on the back side here, I will put 2 inches of styrofoam. I'll put a wrap of, let's zoom out for a sec. I'll put a wrap of bubble foil wrap around the 4 colonies. And then I'll tape this seam before I do that. A piece of styrofoam that goes in the back here. Then I'll put that piece of plywood. And then probably another 6 inches on either side here to tighten it up. I've got an end piece. It's like 6-7 screws for the whole enclosure. And then I'll just level the top, and pretty much I've got styrofoam line all over the place, so I'll just use my styrofoam to really conceal it, because this one's a 5 framer, I believe, a 5 or 6. This one's a 5 for sure. This one's I think an 8 framer, and this one's a 7 framer. So they are going in quite small. The clusters have grown since last time I checked them, so it's good. They still all have pollen patties. Typically I wouldn't do it this early, I'd do it more in October, but I am taking off, so don't want to take a chance. And the temperatures have been cold in the morning, so I'll leave my open feeder, like I said, out in the yard so the bees can go for it on the warmer days. And each of these colonies has pollen patties, and probably good 4 pounds at least of fondant, and I'll be able to access some on warmer days in winter to add fondant as required. The reason I like the single format is basically I feed right above the cluster, and that's why it triggers brood rearing fairly quick once spring comes along. So anyways, that's my winter setup, and yeah, we'll go from there.